Do you ever feel lonely even after being surrounded by people? Or do you relish the moments and cherish the moments that you have with yourself? If you feel lonely even after being surrounded by 5, 10, 15, 100, 200 people, you know what this is called? Feeling lonely. And if you feel like you are all good by yourself and you love the moments you have with yourself, you know what it is called? Being alone willingly and enjoying your own company. In this video, we are going to talk about the difference between being alone and being lonely and how being alone is better than being lonely. Also, one person can be lonely and alone at the same time. But you know what it means? That it's a journey in progress. And if you feel like one of these two situations, that is being alone and being lonely, are overpowering one of those two, you just have to calm down and let that journey and that changes and accept those changes. Hi, my name is Vanchika Bhagat and welcome back to my channel. Please do watch the video till the end and I'm so grateful that you're here. So now let's begin with the video. First thing, difference between being alone and being lonely. Being alone means that you love your own solitude. You know who you are and what anyone and everyone says about you does not matter. First thing, second thing, even if you don't have friends, like you have zero friends and you're not partying or going out with your friends, you're still happy. Third thing, being alone does not mean that you're a loner or you can't text people or call people. You can, but you choose not to. Fourth, being alone is a thing one has to be willing to do. One has to be willing to be alone in a room full of crowd, in a room full of people, and be comfortable in it, be confident in it, and still know that even if they don't have friends, it's okay because you have yourself. Now, what does being lonely count as? Being lonely count as that you are that extrovert that makes friends with everyone, but it is just surface level friendship. Friendship that does not go down deep. It's just small talks all the time. Second, when you are actually with your friends, you don't feel fulfilled because it's all small talks. You just feel like, yes, there is one person sitting in front of me and there's one person sitting beside me and I have friends. But does that mean that are they my actual friends or does that mean that I shouldn't be feeling lonely? Third thing, being lonely is not a bad state, but then you have to realize that it is not good for your mental state and that mental state affects your whole life in the current moment. So you need to change it willingly. Fourth thing, you feel lonely because you are trying to fill an internal void of yours where you're not fulfilled and you're trying to seek it out from the outside world. And you know what will happen? The gap will just widen and it will make you feel worse and worse about yourself. It is not getting fixed. I'll elaborate this in the causes. Now let's talk about the causes. First thing, I'll elaborate the point that I was just speaking in being lonely. So, suppose you have that internal void of yours where you feel like no one likes you and you become friends with 5, 10, 15 people and you become a very extrovert person and you become friends with anyone and everyone that you see. But you know what is happening? No one is actually liking you because they are, first thing, they are not your real friends. They are not friends that actually know the real you or the emotions that you're going through. They don't know anything about you, but it's just surface level friendship where we are going out, we are partying, we are doing etc. and etc. This is showing that people like you and you can become friends with anyone. But on a psychological level, it's just showing you that you are seeking external validation, which you don't get from the inside of yours. So filling that void from the outside rather than filling it from the inside and closing the gap, they just know the fun, calm, joyous person that you showed yourself to be. They don't know the real you. Second cause, social media. Social media was actually introduced to connect people, to connect more people, to connect people worldwide. But you know what it happened? It just distanced people. People who are living next to each other are also only chatting through social media. And we all know the talks that go on social media. It is so surface level, first thing. Second thing, no one is actually talking about their problems. Everyone is showing their big, great, happy life, which also has a grey part to it. Everyone has a grey part, which no one is showing on the internet. Second thing, human connections, as in face to face connections, are so much more better than social media connections. And if you feel like you have how many ever friends you are following and they are following you, if you think that is friendship, let me burst your bubble, it is not. The probability is that they are just following you just because they are jealous of you. So many of us follow so many content creators and social media stars and influencers and celebrities, and I'm talking about the Jenners and the Kardashians. All of us follow them just because we like their profile, we like the lives they are living, we like everything about the glamour and the beauty shown on social media. This has just distanced people. And if you think I'm speaking utter nonsense, please go up on Google and search how many people have been searching therapist. We are searching therapists because we have gone down that trap where we started judging each other, we started judging each other's lives, we've started judging our life based on someone else's, we've started comparing, we've started doing so many unnecessary things that everyone that is on social media has to go to a therapist to be sane. Because otherwise, frankly, all of us would go insane. And the Jenners, Kardashians, celebrities are also going to a therapist. So I'm not saying that only you and me are imperfect, but even they are imperfect. I don't get why we compare, why we criticize, why we judge, why we do a lot of things on social media that is just hampering our own mental health. It's not hampering someone else's, it's just hampering our mental health. And so many people I see online are getting in this drama of trying to show people that, oh, even they party, oh, even they go out to clubs and they go out to cafes and they have friends, they have 10,000 friends, they go to these beautiful places, they are traveling this beautifully. So many people are falling under this trap and we can't do anything about it. And this is just making us feel much more lonelier than we actually are. We are criticizing each other on each other's reels, posts, etc. etc. We are so jealous of each other's lifestyle that we've started comparing. We've started judging people. And this is causing social anxiety, trauma, bad mental health for people. It is also causing people to seek out therapists because they're dealing with so many problems just because of social media that they are going to therapists. And I'm not saying that social media is completely bad. Yes, it is good, but to the extent where you use it healthily, the moment it crosses the fine line of healthy and unhealthy, we're gone. Our mental health is gone. And then the society has gone down the drain. And we have crossed the fine line between healthy and unhealthy. We have crossed the fine line between good and bad. So this is the number one biggest cause of feeling lonely even when you have 100 people in a room, because you can't actually connect with anyone because you're not connected with yourself. Which brings me to the third cause. So many people go out partying, go to cafes, have these superficial friends that they are going out with, wasting their parents' money and also getting themselves into a very bad mental trap. This is also causing them to have a lonely mindset, a very, very lonely mindset. A mindset where you are thinking anything I have is not enough, everything I get is not enough. Oh, if I have a MG, why couldn't I get an Audi? If I have an Audi, why couldn't I get a Range Rover? If I have a Range Rover, why couldn't I get a Ferrari? That big of a mental trap people are going down. That anything and everything doesn't seem enough. If I can walk, why can't I fly? People are thinking sky's the limit, but your goals, not to your shosha, where you have to show people that you have that much. Which brings me to the fourth cause, increased social judgment. Anywhere we go, we're like, oh, what is he gonna think of me? Oh, what is she gonna think of me? Is she going to think the top is nice? Is she going to think my hair is messy? Is she going to think I have this, that, I don't have this, I don't have that? It is also causing increased social judgment. People are judging themselves before someone else judges them. If someone else is also judging you, they're not going to speak it on your face. But you know what? Our human mind is very tricky. You know what? If someone is looking at us like these eyes, we think that they are judging us. But if someone is looking at us, we think that they are judging us. Even if they are looking normally and have a neutral, we think that they are judging us. For sure, they are judging us. Why is that? Why do you have such a lack of confidence where you feel like if anyone is looking at you, they are judging you and not thinking good about you? People can think good about you. If you're confident enough, people can think good about you. But when you have this negative mindset and you're in a party with a negative space, only negative things are going to happen. Only negative energy is going to be attracted towards you. So yes, people are judging you if you have a negative mindset. If you have a positive mindset where you're confident, where you are like, I am good enough, I don't need anything more to look more beautiful, you are going to only attract compliments or eyes that compliment you. Your mind is going to tell you that that person is looking at you just because they think that you're beautiful. That is the amount of social judgment extent that we've gone to. Fifth cause, lack mentality. If we have a lack mentality, I told you, if you have a lack mentality, you're only going to attract things that are going to make the lack bigger. Now, let me tell you a personal story. Before 2020, that was when the first wave of COVID hit in India. I was a social butterfly. I used to talk to anyone and everyone. I was an extremely extrovert person. And all the things that I listed before in the video of being lonely, yes, I had all of them in me. All of them. Every single thing. Before 2020, that is. I had deep, deep, deep void where I was unfulfilled. Thought everyone was judging me. But then I realized I used to feel very lonely before 2020. Even though I was an extrovert and I was talking to everyone, I could talk to everyone, I was still feeling lonely. At home, I used to think about my day. I was like, I felt lonely here, or I felt lonely there, and I didn't understand what to do. But in 2020, COVID hit. Everyone was locked in their houses. I was locked in my house with my family. And that is when my thoughts overpowered my mind, and it was chattering, unfulfillment overpowered my mind. My mind was like, what the hell is going on in your brain? And then I started curing all of those unfulfilled desires. Most of the desires weren't materialistic. If you thought that they were, they're wrong. They are not. So the unfulfilled desires that you have in your brain, they are not materialistic. So I was sitting in my house for 3 years, 2020, approximately 3 years. I was sitting in my house and I cured all of my fulfilled desires, all of that inner void of mine. I realized why I was feeling lonely. I started to teach myself why this was happening. I started educate myself. I started to learn new ways of coping with this. I started getting better at it. I started becoming happier. Started becoming happier just by myself. And now, if you lock me in my room by myself for a year, I will not complain. I am that happy with being by myself. I could just spend all the time alone. I know there are so many people out there who think cannot control their mind chatter because their mind speaking things that they don't want to look at. If you don't look at it right now, and if you don't solve it right now, they are going to come back bigger and greater in the later years, in the 30s and the 40s. And let me tell you, having and clearing those thoughts right now is so much more better than trying to let it be and bundle it up and have the snowball effect in your 30s and 40s. Because that time will be having a family, a job, everything to look at. You won't be able to give time to yourself as much as you can give right now. So now I can proudly say that I am much more happier being alone than I was being lonely. Now, let me give you some reasons why being alone is so much more better than being with the wrong people. Being alone is a blessing in disguise. And what I mean by this is you start to understand yourself. But when you're with the wrong people, your mind is not looking at yourself. You are not looking at your actions. You're just having reactions. And what I mean by this is that if someone says, let's go party, you say yes, let's go. But your mind is not looking and thinking that, oh, I don't like parties, I get socially drained. It's just a quick fix that is not helping me at all and I'm getting burnt out. Yes, you can get burnt out by going to party. It's a shocker, but yes. It gives you insights into yourself and you build self-confidence, which is so much more helpful than going to party. And when you're with the wrong people, you just don't feel like it. Their energy doesn't match, but you're trying to be friends with them just because you have to. And I would suggest don't be friends with them just because you have to. That is my biggest tip in this video. Don't be friends with anyone just because you have to. Be a loner, doesn't matter. Sit alone in the classroom, doesn't matter. But just don't become friends with anyone just because you have to or just because your parents forced you to. Because there are 8 billion people on this planet. You will at least get 2 or 3 who are going to be your actual friends and not friends that you were forced to make or you became friends just because you had to. Also, when you're alone, you just have yourself. You don't have to pretend to be someone else. No masks, no pretending. You can be yourself. You can do the things that you like. You don't have to do the things that someone else likes to make them happy. You don't have to do those things. You can just do the things that you like. Also, being alone teaches you that you don't need someone else. It's the hash. You can be happy by yourself. You can do each and everything by yourself. Yes, their help is additional, but you are one whole, and everything that comes from the outside is extra. It's not something that is going to fill that one of yours. No, you are one. You are a complete whole. You can do anything and everything and stay alone and be happy and also survive. And you start to realize that you have your own back through thick and thin. So anything that happens in your life, good, bad, ugly, you have your own back. You are going to stand up for yourself. Even if that friend doesn't stand or that person doesn't stand, you are going to stand up for yourself. When you're alone, you start to get bad thoughts. By bad, I mean bad. Bad to the extent of suicide. And then you start to find out why are you getting those thoughts. Yes, I know this sentence is scary, but to find out why you're having such bad thoughts, you go to the pit and you understand the reason why you're having these thoughts, which by the way you didn't know when you were with 5, 10, 15 friends. But when once you're alone, you know the thoughts that are going into your head, and then you start to find out the reasons for those. Because as I said, you have to have your own back. If you don't have your own back, no one is going to have your back. And if you think that people are having your back, I don't want to burst your bubble, but they don't. Also, being alone can give you so many ideas, so many creative juices start flowing, and then you realize, oh, I'm this smart. Oh, I think this way. Oh, I understand that way. Oh, I like this. I like that. I love doing this. I am good at that. You start to understand yourself. You start to realize that you have so much more to offer rather than just a superficial friendship. It also teaches you to make your own decisions rather than being swayed by people's decisions and the things they are telling you. Because we humans have this tendency that if someone convinces us that the thing that we are choosing is not worth it, but the thing that they are saying is worth it, we get swayed. So being alone makes you realize that the decisions that you're making for yourself are correct and they are for your own good, and you don't get swayed by people's convincing easily. It also helps you to understand your emotions. Like if you're feeling sad or if you're feeling angry, you start to question yourself. Why did I get angry? What triggered me? Why did it trigger me? What happened that it triggered me to that extent that that emotion had to come out? You start to understand those triggers. You start to understand yourself. You start to see the underlying issue, and then you start to fix it. So many people get scared in the fixing part that they are like, it's okay that I am lonely rather than being alone. I don't want to look at my thoughts. I don't want to be with my thoughts alone and find out what is wrong with my thoughts. I am okay with being lonely. And they choose this path, and I have seen them struggling in their 30s and 40s because one day or the other, that thoughts are going to come out. It's like a closed box. The time you can keep it closed, good enough. But when it bursts, it is going to destroy your life. And don't let it burst. Please open it yourself and fix all of those issues inside it and get it done with for life. Fixing and facing problems is the part and parcel of life. So if you have collected a lot of issues, please solve them right now. Don't let them be collected till you're middle aged and you suddenly have a midlife crisis. You know, being alone can actually help you get greater connections, bigger, better connections in your life. It can actually really help you to have meaningful connections in life and not just small talk conversation. And this has happened with me. I have had so many meaningful connections after that, and I actually feel grateful for each and every connection that has happened to me. So, if you think that I only have to deal with the negative, there's a lot of positive coming after it. But you have to deal with the negative to get to the positive. And the positive is so much more greater than all the negative that you've solved. How to be alone and how to enjoy it, how to be okay with it, how to calm your mind down. All of those questions are going to be solved right now. I'm going to give you solutions where you can be happy being alone. So, a solution is what I applied. I was not at all a book reader before 2020. Before 2020, I used to hate books. School books, story books, reading books, any sort of book. Did not like reading at all. August 2020 is when I started my reading journey. Fell in love with reading. Now, my parents are surprised that what the hell happened to her? Like, why is she reading so many books? But it helps you. You know, when you read books, you see other people's problems because they've written down it in a book. You see other people's problems, and then you feel like there are so many more people facing the same problems as me, or intensity is different, but we are facing problems, and it's not just me against the universe, the world, etc. Me against everyone around me. There are so many more people, maybe everyone facing the same issues, but no one is saying it. So start reading. Reading helps you in ways you can't imagine. It is therapeutic. Even if it doesn't do anything, it gives you knowledge. For me, I am a non-fiction girly. Can't deal with fiction, sorry. But if you like non-fiction, you do you. Go read the books. Go do anything that makes you happy while being alone. Second thing, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't mean you have to sit down in a meditation. Well, if you do that, great. But if you can't do that, please start journaling. Please start understanding your thoughts, because when you're writing, first thing, don't stress so much over commas and full stops and capital letters. Let your creative juices flow. Let your mind write whatever you're writing. Second thing, at the starting, you will think and write. When you start writing and you get into the flow, your mind starts writing things that you won't even realize. When you read it, you will like, oh, did I write this? Did I actually write this? But you did write it. And that is your mind telling you those things. Don't write with your conscious mind. Let your subconscious mind write everything. Third thing, start exercising. I don't care about your body shape. Like if you're skinny, you lean, does not matter. Exercising does not mean that you have to go to the gym 1 hour, do heavy lifting weights. No. You can go walks, 30 minutes walk, an hour walk. Start walking. Start doing some sort of physical exercise. Physical exercise drains your energy. When it drains your energy, your mind does not have that much more energy to do the chatter, because you have limited amount of energy in your day. If you let your mind consume everything, your mind is going to be a mess. So please gain some amount of energy so that your mind has less energy and it can only do that much of chatter. And you can solve the chatter through journaling and meditation and mindfulness. Fifth thing, learn new skill. Go out, learn something new. Pottery, Pilates, badminton, table tennis, tarot, astrology, anything. Anything that you like. Because not only are you adding it to your skill library, but also putting your mind to some other place, to some new place where your conscious mind is much more focused other than your subconscious mind. It's not chattering anymore. It's not telling you that you're lonely, you're ugly, that no one likes you, you're not talented enough. And you're talented enough, you're doing that new skill, you're learning that new skill, you're becoming talented. Sixth thing, romanticize life. We all have forgotten in this day and age of concrete jungles where dreams are made of. We have forgotten to romanticize our life. We have forgotten where we have come from, the beauty of nature, the beauty of life around us. Look at those skyscraper buildings. They look so beautiful. Romanticize them. Romanticize greenery, sunrise, sunset, lakes, seas. Fantasize anything, flowers, different colored flowers. Fantasize anything and everything in life that you can romanticize. Next, cultivate a positive mindset. A positive mindset gets you long, long ways. And I have already made a video about positive self perception. So I will link that video down. Do go and watch that video, because that video is going to also help you a lot with this video. And these two videos taken together, you will get a lot more perspective of what I'm trying to say. And yeah, these are all the solutions that I have for you today. Thank you for watching this video. I hear that 62% of you that are frequently viewing these videos have not subscribed yet. So could you please, please, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel, because I am trying to grow a community, and that community consists of you and these videos, and this is only going to get better, and this would also motivate me to bring out better videos. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching this channel, and yeah.